Welcome to a Late IHP Show with your 5D Mystic Stories, and that will be with Maria. There's plenty of mystics out there. I'm a self-agent with that, which is the love frequency, and today we started with our shorts, which we will have some stories later on throughout the week with the shorts in mind and potentially more topics. So right now, let's continue with lovers. They bring emotional vulnerability, not triggers. And so that's a enlightenment soul age group mystic person. That's why the empowered feminines and the empowered masculines, they don't really get lost, but I can only speak as an empowered feminine. So what you will know about true lovers is that they are mental, emotional, and physical self-agents. So we're securely attached, non-traumatized. If you tune into our shorts, we love and we pursue, in fact, our ventral vagal state health. Thanks to self-agency, we have, as Sadhguru shares, the ability to bring out the best in others, which is what makes us all leaders. Every one of us, obviously, even our fearful brothers and sisters of the 3D, 4D frequency have leaders. And that's why we don't really point them out like that. That's bad manners. Those who shame, blame, fault, revenge. Yes, I forgot. Fearful brothers and sisters are cowards. So they're triggered by anything that is different than what the adaptive child part typically, and anybody with a trigger that is a charge. So they're emotionally vulnerable, but in the absence of awareness, resiliency, and enthusiasm towards anger, sadness, fear. I have panic attacks to thank for my self-regulation skills, disgust, surprise, happiness. So when you are a part of our 5D collective of mystic, spiritual, mindful, living, loving people, you'll be here because you enjoy, like I do, the infinite higher human consciousness potential experience. So you have fun with my stories, and we do make fun of 3D, 4D, poor unfortunate souls. So sad, even though the soul doesn't really actually have anything to do with emotions, your body does. And your body's your empowered feminine when you have the mindfulness practices, because you have the mind sight skills. So I sift Maria's sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts with my ventral vagal state. That's why I use my prefrontal cortex, and that's thanks to the inner growth mindset. You all know about the online courses that I have. Yes, there's 3 main modules for each level, and those are for free on the website, inspiringhumanpotential.com. And then there's one-to-one mentorship, and there's a sign up for the masterclass of the future stuff and workshops, spiritual ones. And so we're okay with the woo-woo pseudoscience, those of us who are the enlightenment soul age group mystics. Again, God, I love you. Discerning Equanimous Love, that's the title. God is Discerning Equanimous Love, of the chapter that I get to be a co-author of a book. Well, the chapter's mine, the book is we're co-authors, and I do love to use Maria's 3-year-old words. So if you're new, this is what you want to get used to, okay? And so while I enjoy the infinite higher human consciousness potential experience, it's because I've chosen well-being, intelligence, and to live a life as my authentic self. And we can all thank my little butthole 3-year-old. My mother allowed me to express all those emotions. As a Neapolitan mother, she is under the awareness that in a supermarket, even if I'm yelling, nobody's really going to think I'm rude. And so by being lovingly accepted, I did not work one day for love. I can be a cockroach. My mother still loves me. In fact, to this day, we will argue like daughter and mother. And to this day, I will be in my angry little butthole. So my triggers actually come up, but it's only really one. Well, two human beings. My mom, let's make sure that you can hear me. My mom and my twin. So that's why they say trauma. The trauma charges, we all have them. You can all take ownership and accountability for your regulation skills. Thank you, Patrick Tan, for helping people who want to reparent their inner child. Thank you, Terrio, for fierce lovers. I'm already a fierce lover. I'm a teenager. So again, I'm letting you know why my brain is integrated and how easy it is for me to do resiliency with emotional vulnerability and not actually drag a pain point around. We'll talk about suffering at some other point. I tease it a waste of my fucking time, and God likes to chime in every now and then and remind me not to make fun of my brothers and sisters, and I say I'm not making fun of them. I just would love for them to not waste my time. I'm a self-agent, I'm self-regulating, I'm securely attached, I'm non-traumatized, I'm a functional child adult, and lo and behold, they look for crutches and I don't have one for them. Because even if I wanted to be a crutch, which I'm not, I actively cannot have them anchor their ventral energy, because without me, they're not doing it. And with me, they're projecting their triggered emotional past, and I have nothing to do with their mama, papa wounds or whatever else happened in their charge. So I really don't have a crutch for them. You see what I'm saying? And also, they just don't know how to handle emotional vulnerability. And they think that my quantumist, discerning, loving stance God is basically, cold, insensitive, emotionless. I don't know. They come up with a lot of it. Oh, some say fake positive, that too. Others really just don't like that we don't look with suspicious eyes. And so I'm not watching over my back to see if someone's going to fuck with me, because usually, as I learned from my teenage years, cowards don't know how to actually live life. I don't do anything with pathologies. They really don't have high intelligence at all, even when they think they do. I've actually heard of one lady, as she was speaking about this thing that happened to her. I said, that's interesting. Wow. So what I'm trying to get at is anyone who has low intelligence will not be testing an empowered feminine. That's basically a human being who has self-agency. Just so you know, it's not a special gift. It's called my prefrontal cortex, and I have a good gut. While Gabor Mate shares that those people have bad guts, and he's talking only about insecure people. He doesn't know the ones of us who got lovingly accepted. We did not work for love, and we did not get to have to be suppressed in our emotional plane. I have no suppression. I actively have no suppression whatsoever. I'll just spill it all out. In fact, my body will do it for me. So you know what happens when you notice your body don't lie, and that you really don't want to put in that much effort to have yourself lie with your body. You just kind of wing it. Authenticity. It's why no relationship actually gets hard. It's all fun. Fun and games. I play life differently than others. I love to love. And my baby, he loves to laugh and live and learn and expand and not cast stone. I'm trying to make a point so I don't watch over my fucking back, which is why no man or woman or they has made me think that humanity doesn't do awesome, that I will not ever be loved. Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? And this is my sense of humor, because I grew up, I'm 45, and I really didn't think that women and men that grew up with me would completely, consistently perform. Yes, their performance is a circus act. I really have no patience for performers, but then again, I don't have to deal with them because they don't come to me. I don't actually acquiesce to anybody. I'm a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group. You know what happens when somebody comes to you for something, and then you give them the answer, but they don't want the answer that you gave them, because they really want what is of 3D, 4D frequency. They want to be in distress. So they're looking for drama. They're looking for a narrative to actually have people like, we're great, we're special, or something like that, okay? Yes, so I have my prefrontal cortex online. That's why I'm in my ventral vagal state. And that's why the attachment coaches say secure attachment is boring. I say what's boring is wasting my fucking time with your ups and downs and roller coasters, when really, drama kings and queens, what's up, teenagers? I don't understand why you're making such a big deal about a breakup. I mean, really, as I got older, that's all I would say. And then they would get really vicious. I'm like, look, you're really upset. I get it. I was upset when my teenage boyfriend broke up with me, but I processed it. I cried and I conquered and I got over it. And that's because he's not an asshole. I mean, we're all assholes, technically, when you self-accept yourself. That's why people don't like us, because who's us? Again, self-agents who are securely attached, non-traumatized. It's really fun. You can't prove it through words, by the way. Anything I speak, it really doesn't matter. You're either going to be within your ventral vagal state and at some point notice it, or maybe not. And I won't be able to know any difference by talking through a screen. I will know if I meet you. Oh, poor unfortunate souls. I'm so sorry. This is not meant for you all, and God keeps chiming in to remind me to stop being a smart ass, but I'm really having fun right now because when your default mode network is down regulated your entire life. I don't scan Maria and others. I was 3 and I said, "You can't spank me. It's my body." And I did not get shamed. So I have no shame. I'm trying to let anybody understand I don't do the shame thing, and that God takes me as I am. And anybody who looks at a 3-year-old who says, "Excuse me," no, I don't. My mother taught me polite manners. So she obviously also taught me how to look at someone who's looking at me and then to go to her. And I'm now a 3-year-old of my own, and I'm looking right now in the screen. You know what I do as a higher self who's a securely attached, non-traumatized person? I don't flinch, which is why that fancy lady in her fucking suit made me think, flashback, teenage girls, no emotions. No, I'm not a drama king and queen. What are you doing? I don't understand. So I'm just going to let you know, at IHP, it can only be infinite higher human conscious potential experiencing people who want to do emotions, because otherwise you're not here. So I don't have triggers, and when I do, I won't say I feel ashamed. No, I just say, okay, what's up, Maria? So I did this thing this one time, I'll never forget. I said, okay, this is the plan. You have to decide. Either you're going to just sit it out and just calm down and just keep on chucking away, or not. And then in another instance, I said, okay, here's the deal. You're going to do it, but remember, accept, respect, and love all, and don't have any expectations. You know what cowards do, Maria? They are always the same. They don't know how to have authentic conversations with you, and they don't know how to tell you the truth. Remember your facade friend? He's not even a lover, meaning not a romantic partner. So once you get used to one coward, you know all the rest of them, and that's why you don't really get triggered, because I mean, really, cowards don't do anything. The shame button of people has them being inactive. Their not ventral vagal state has them being lethargic, and then they have maladaptive patterns, which is why they drink their sorrows away, fuck it away, and then drug it away. And some just look with suspicious eyes, always with this safety behavior, and they don't realize that neuroplasticity, it has an agent called imagination. And if you use inner critic, well, there you go, an outer critic. And I told those teenagers, are you done being dramatic? No emotions? Seriously, lady? As she says, it's not inherently healthy or enlightening to be non-reactive. Yes, it is, because I have eustress and you don't. You have this stress, and they've explained it to me, and I don't want to play the know-it-all because God keeps reminding me not to, but I do. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. When I learned about attachment and trauma, I just said, okay, now this human suffering thing is making a lot more sense. And Jesus suffered, and people who actually get physically tortured get suffering. I don't do. Sticks and stones are going to hurt me, but words, really, what's up with people and their sensitive egos? I don't understand. So that's how it works when you're a self-agent who's a lover. You don't get triggered. Oh, by the way, you dish it, you take it. I can take it. I remember in one instance, again, this isn't a lover, I was being treated with a very specific tone, and as I'm being treated that way, I'm saying, stop whining about this, because that's just common sense talking. You're just not appreciating it at this moment in time because you're looking for something different. You're not getting it. You're getting the person that is in front of you, and it doesn't matter what you want to assume. And here's why I don't need Terrio, because this is where I know how to do it all by myself. I hold myself the way I was held. And I also got taught good manners. If you can't say something nice, say nothing, to the point of where when I tell the story of the immunity isn't enough to be saluted to my mother, she says, you didn't tell him you didn't like him. That's not nice. I said, no, Mom, that's not polite, not nice. No, Mother, I just didn't engage, and I didn't become his friend, and I consistently repeated no speakage so that he would understand. And women said I would be too serious, and I said, no, I don't want to be friends with a stranger. I chose not to interact with him. And then on an evening, as usual, when people get drunk, they can apparently do everything, and when they're not drunk, they don't have balls or vaginas. So, when they're drunk, though, I'm not going to interact with you. You're drunk, you're triggered, you're emotional, and, there you go. So he definitely was upset that day and drunk. And I was the grown up of the situation, and I have a funny story for you. See, so my lovers, are fine. They actually, I'm sure, could tell you exactly how I handle myself, which is why if somebody says you're a chaotic, rigid bitch, whatever, wacko, I'm not, but I'm sure I have been pretty much one of those women that gets put in stereotypes. And as I asked my men friends about this thing, they said, yes, we really just don't like to tell you the truth because we don't want to be assholes. We'd rather be clowns and buffoons. And I said, so you'd rather be cowards? To all my men friends, this is what I said, because they'd say, you're a woman, you don't understand. I said, okay, but you call me chaotic when I actually start writing you in a way because you're not answering, and then you're telling me right now that you won't tell me. You just want to fuck, and that's it. And there's another man who tells me, I don't get a text back because actually you have contempt and disgust towards me and then shame. And I don't know where the shame goes, but in the same time, I'm thinking, that man, I don't want to text back because, wow, that's awful that you will have contempt and disgust towards me, because I'm sure that if I actually decided to be with you, that I didn't have any of that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have, because I don't date people that I don't respect, and I don't fuck them for sure. That's, STDs, anyone? Like, yuck, hello. I don't just go randomly hitting it up with anyone. That's not how it works when you're a lover. You don't do lust. You do, I'm a securely attached, healthy, self-worth woman and a man in a day. And it ain't Lucifer, promiscuity, or the sex age revolution. No. Anyone who does not have a sense of self that they own, and apparently teenagers began rolling it out. And then I saw grown-ups, college students, rolling it out again. And I'm just thinking, okay, I mean, I know I'm a fool just as much as any other adolescent, meaning we all are immature and insecure in certain ways, but I learned, and that's the part. When you learn how to notice, emotional vulnerability versus those who are treating each other like little pieces of shit. And I learned how to make sure to share with my women and men friends, I don't have they friends, that I'm not taking sides, because I feel bad for everyone. Every human being I feel bad for that doesn't know how to get out of their temporal junction and therefore their human suffering, and that I have to hear that their butterfly transformation is gross and excruciatingly painful because they don't know how to use their nervous system, which is basically their ventral vagal state, and that every mammal has it. And that it's your resource, and that your body will be reminded of it when you are near me, but that you will react potentially with and that I'm the cause of your reactivity because the ventral energy is being reminded of something you didn't get in your first year, second year in the womb, the third year. And people who say they don't believe in neuroscience, neuroplasticity, I'm like, you know what? I'm the woo pseudoscience lady, so obviously. But there's no Lucifer in the body of anyone who actually reacts to somebody who is unconditionally loving and who's in their ventral energy and who's a self-agent like that. Nope. It's just people who will, as Dr. Daniel Fox presents, test the bejesus out of it. And again, an empowered feminine doesn't get tested by masculines because they're the buffoons. Like my buffoon men friends, as they say to me, we would rather be buffoons. And I said, you would rather be cowards, right? No, yes, you're being a coward. And the ones who took it personally, I said, this is not gentlemanlike. You are telling me that you're actively confirming every single one of my girlfriend's stories, including stereotype coaches. So tell me, please, you're a coward. You're not socially polite. No, you're choosing to be a coward and call me chaotic. And the one friend, my facade friend, at the very least, he is decent enough to be a straightforward asshole. He said, you're right, Maria. Yes, we are cowards. And you know what? Thanks for the chit chat, because I think that maybe I'm fitting that bill right now. And then you know what others continue to do? Cowards are always the same. So here's the deal. When you choose the self-agent to be securely attached, non-traumatized, healthy self-worth, real lover means that you don't need companionship. I don't got no dog when I'm choosing partnership. I don't got no, are you lonesome tonight? So the beauty of lovers, as I'm talking about fierce lovers, not the ones who need each other based on, again, facade people, I feel bad for them because all they have to do is learn how to do their emotional vulnerability with their 0-1-year-old and then continue to do it versus create some story for when breakups happen, which make you into people who are talking now about the 4th wave of twin flames, really, or the 5th. And so this woman who says that you better not tell the masculine about the twin flame because then they'll think that you've done black magic. I put a spell on you and now you're mine. My gosh, don't get me started. I'm a 5D mystic, not a 4D one. And that's because I have the Christ consciousness, oneness consciousness knowledge. Does anybody know what God gives you? It's called free will. Does anybody know what you cannot physically do? You can't break karmic, cosmic balance, and you won't be breaking no free will. So whenever even I've heard of people doing this thing, yeah, it don't bite them in the ass necessarily, but it definitely don't do good either. And that's because how dare you play God when you can't, one. And as a mystic, it was humorous to hear stories of people, but also if someone actually would think, and then what I was contemplating was, wait, but you are a mystic, Maria. Remember, people are afraid of you. I have a person, she's afraid of me because I don't judge people. And it's because I don't cast stones. And she's religious. And I'm like, how dare you cast stones? Didn't you hear Jesus and God and Holy Spirit? Oh, but you're learning from the ones who are casting stones. I see. So, I'm going to leave adoptive child part people alone as they cast stones towards each other and continue to basically break the rules, putting each other on pedestals. And I, at the other end of the spectrum, just said, look, you're getting really vicious. I'm taught to forgive. I know that men and women and they obviously, do stuff that is completely explainable today. It's called Go Get Terrio, Patrick Chahan. People who ask each other questions. Yeah. The ones who never get fucked with again, seriously, go to therapy, get a good gut. Then you might be able to date. I haven't had bad experiences with dating because I pick them, meaning that we pick each other, excuse me. And that's because it's consensual. Also, I'm a straight shooter. And if you say no, I won't be like, oh my God, now I'm dying. Nope, I got water right here. I was already breathing. I'm going to go eat right now. So lovers that actually have emotional vulnerability, you can't trigger one because it's called I'm healthy self-worth. There's only one of me and I got a twin. There's only one of you. If you don't know your own worth, I can't actually make you believe in it. And I can smell like a skunk and I will watch my words. But as the comedians say, we won't be able to make everybody happy because, when you bring your ideas to life and you're a self-agent, you're confident, you're clear, and you know what you're talking about and you're in your ventral energy. That's how people react when they have attachment wounds that flare up and they look in the eyes of a higher self with a person who's securely attached and untraumatized. I learned this from smart people. And when I learned that, I was like, shit, I think I need to stay home. Not because I scan a room and they affect me. No, because every time I'm walking in somewhere, I'm going to have little people being triggered and they lead with their subconscious. So their 0-8-year-old is going to go have fun with Pinocchio. I don't know what they're going to get into, but drinking, drugging, fucking, inner outer critic, that ain't fun. So I need to watch. Wait, Maria, but you're not responsible for them. But yes, I am. No, you're not. Well, I can try to not interact with them and I'm reducing enough to be saluted. Wow. I seriously had no interest in interacting with you. You have no healthy self-worth. That's all. I didn't say that to them again. So with lovers, that's not what happens. With lovers, they were actually all, not surprisingly, as an empowered feminine. I don't get tested by masculines or dysregulated feminines, and they're one and the same. And when they've been in my energy sphere and or they've done shit that they didn't even know what the fuck they were doing, I have to say I laugh. And when anybody thinks they can break free will, again, I laugh. So, woo-woo pseudoscience lady, we have calling it a shot tonight, the Late IHP Show. When you have 5D mystics in the Enlightenment Soul Age group and they're functional child adults and they actually do know science and spirituality come together, I can't wait to hear about what empirical mysticism has for us, because I don't know enough about it yet. Quantum physics too, but in the meantime, lovers are real because of being their whole human being. So divinity descends, yes, because we're consciously here. As lovely Dr. Daniel Siegel presents, those of us who have a default mode network that is downregulated are conduits, and so we get all of it. And because my amygdala is not alerted in the same way of those who are alert, who don't use their prefrontal cortex, I do. My frontal lobes are closed, they're not flopped down, or they're up, excuse me. And so my prefrontal cortex is flopped down, and I confused it again. But neuroscientists explain what happens when people are in safety behaviors. And so the 4D, 3D, they have their amygdala working for them instead of the prefrontal. I have a prefrontal, which is why I can see clearly now, which is why I can sit like an Egyptian, and I don't go and project at people. So when my men friends again told me what they told me, I just like, okay, so I won't be feeling bad about being chaotic, obviously, but I actually now know about emotionally unavailable people who want ups and downs. And you know what's fun is that you completely continue to disengage from drama kings and queens. So as I got older, I got lovers around, and at IHP, that's what we got. So we get to share emotional, vulnerable moments, which is really fun. And when we see triggers, we don't go, nope, we actually know how to do it's not about decency. And then by the end of the evening, no, we won't become friends. Yes, we do frequent the same place. No, we won't be talking. Yes, I will be seeing you. No, I won't be engaging with you in conversations. And that is all. And I say, oh, you're putting up barriers. And you say, no, I'm not. I'm just telling you how it is because your body with your words match all the time. I don't do the let me try to lie to you because I've noticed something about my empowered feminine. She'll speak before I even speak. So I actually have a friend of mine who actually knows how to read me, and he has twice already done something, and I'm like, I need to watch this one because he has fun doing shit, and I need him not to do this funny shit because some people need to not be feeling like they are not doing great. And we'll save that for maybe a later IHP show. In the meantime, thanks for stopping by.